It was a race to see if I could open the doors before this thing launched and told me I was live. Oh man, I got an upper lip hiding mustache. That hair, the facial hair. Anyway, it's the first time I'm seeing myself. You know, it's easy. It's easy to resist seeing myself. So happy Monday, everyone. I see, I'll start 2 minutes or a minute early because somebody was like, he's taking his daily nap, and that's like where I draw the line. Oh, I'm not going to be called lazy. I'm gonna fire this thing up, and I'm gonna show people I'm here, even if it is a little premature. See, as I could have opened the doors, up, like the doors, like Riders on the Storm. So hello and happy Monday, the first broadcast of 2026. 2026. I think if you would asked me when I first read It by Stephen King, if where I'd be 40 years later, my answer would have been like, I'm not going to make it to 40. So don't even ask me about 40 years later. It's not going to happen. But here we are. It's the future, Jeff. It's the future. And hopefully the future will last long enough tonight to not have any sort of connection issues. I'm always making excuses. I'm an excuse factory. So hello, Mike, Mark, the first two, always here. Phil is here. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you. Cool Rooster Games is here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you or heard about you in a while, so I hope everything's okay, you and your brother, and say hi to him too. So I'm glad you're here. Here comes the crew. Anyone not sending? Oh, so Jason, I saw this. So yes, anyone not sending Eye in the Sky back to Centipede to not have Michael sign it. So there was a book that Centipede did. It hit a snag. All these books went out, and Michael Swanwick didn't sign a bunch of signature sheets. So basically what Jason is going for is I might want mine to not be signed, so it'll be the rarer of the bunch. It's kind of the angle I played with Jex from Thunderstorm and Chad Lutsky. Jex, the first printing of that book, the first time it went out, the end sheets were a little... They were transferring. The color was pulling off, and Paul at Thunderstorm offered to fix it for everybody, and I assumed most people did. But I kept mine because I'm like, I'm playing 3D chess up here, and I'm going to hold mine back, and therefore I'll have the rarer one. I don't think that's... I think you should... I would have sent it back if I wasn't happy with it, but I wasn't playing any games. But it sounds like, Jason, you are working some angles, which is fine. Rob Loves Books here. Hello. Brandon Carr. All hail the champion, Brandon. Won the Fantasy Football League. Jeff's Books and Balls. That's what I called it because I'm like a high schooler, And he won the whole thing. He won the entire dance. So congrats to you. It was a crazy, crazy year. Yes, Mark told me I was taking my nap. Good to see you, number one. Books, yes. Christopher Bowers, Book Talk 101. I'm taking over for Mr. Weapon now. Oh, I see. See, you're doing that. I didn't even notice. Mr. Weapon showed up, and I said, well, it's Mr. Weapon. It's Jason. And now I didn't realize two handles. That's how easy it is for me to not notice things. Hello, Kevin. Good to see you. Been a long time since I attended a Monday. Well, I'm glad to have you. Pull up a stool. You know what? I once called a stool shop. I called up a stool store, a furniture place. They did Amish furniture and imported fine stuff, and they did stools. And I called them up. I said, hey, hi, I'm interested in a stool. Can you send me a sample? Can I get a stool sample? It's a little thing. I'm giving that away for free. You can do that. Although I did it way back before we had caller ID and cell phones. So you could have more fun back then. There weren't cameras everywhere. Yeah. Happy New Year, Mr. Terrific. I don't know where I was going with that. Good. Happy New Year, Tim. Good to see you. Patty's here. Yes. Hello, Patty. Nick's mom. Alexia, hi. Alexia has the only personalized death bus in existence. Alexia does. And I went through a whole anxious a bout of panic. How do I personalize something? It was weird because I'm just that broken. Jim's here. Nick's dad's here. Good to see you. Greetings and salutations, Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. I'm so glad you're here. I hope everything's okay. I was going to reach out on the social medias if I didn't hear from you tonight and say, I hope everything's okay. Hope you're doing good. I've not stopped thinking about you and your situation. So I'm glad you're here tonight. So good to see you. Alan, good to see you. Exactly, Jeff. Also, your copy of the lottery. Nice, Jason. Good. We talked about that here. Hold, please. I could have muted that, but then I'm just lying to you. Oh yeah, look at this. The shirt. You opened it. We came. And when Pinhead says that, I'm like, well, I know you're excited that I opened the box, but geez, man, just that's not appropriate. Who else? What else? Lance, good evening, Lance. Good evening to you. Got first place here and dead last in my money league. Oh, man. Oh, that sucks. We were supposed to cook up a prize. I don't know what to do. We're supposed to cook up a prize for the fantasy league. Something that gets passed around every time somebody wins, they get it. I don't know. We never formalized anything. Sloppy. I'm telling you, even though it was just one day of the year, Jeff Kahn dominated like at least 6 months of my brain. What's up, Jeff? Happy New Year. This is the first. What is the first book you are reading this year? It is still painfully When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. And I only say painfully is that I just like we go to bed at night and I have a little bit of time where I have to take the dogs out, to get them, so they can go to the bathroom and they're not stuck overnight because they don't have thumbs. They can't walk into the bathroom and use the toilet. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take them out. And I feed them sometimes and a lot. And Poe is still such a puppy and a working dog. I have to play catch with him for a little bit sometimes. And then by the end of it all, I clean the kitchen and then I come in and I sit down to read. And it's sad because I read like a few pages and then I'm rereading the same line over and over and nothing is sticking. And I just have to throw the towel in, throw the bookmark in, as it were. And so yeah, that's what I do. So it's been taking me a long time, but I'm reading When the Wolf Comes Home, and it's a really good book. I really like it. I like it better than Coffin Moon. Coffin Moon was more straightforward, like a more straightforward, like thriller book, thriller horror. It felt a little bit like Little Heaven by Nick Cutter, a little bit. And I liked it. I did. I like Coffin Moon, and I think Keith Rosson's a great writer. But I think When the Wolf Comes Home has more depth to it, more angles, more nuance, complexity. Now, is it going to end all that satisfying? I don't know. Like I said about Coffin Moon, the most frustrating thing for me was how so much potential was on the table, and it just didn't pan out. Evening, Zach. Good to see you. Are you going to get the Conversation Tree Letterpress Elric books by Michael Moorcock? No. There's for a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of time, there's going to be very little I pick up. But if I haven't started something big and expensive, you know, it's not going to take place now. Look at that hair. I'm trying to source a time for a haircut, and I don't know. I also want to grow out again. Going through that phase. Uh, I got the little sunroof in the back, but I still have hair, and I've still don't know what to do with it. Jeff, thank you for doing that, and sorry for putting. No, I loved it, Alexia, putting me on the spot. It wasn't. It was like these are things I just don't consider, and I thought I came up with a good personalization, and then Joshua Poblano has the only doodle I did. I did a doodle in Death Bus, and I probably will never do that again. But he also had a remark from Chris Panettiere that was outstanding. It was awesome. I was so jealous. I should have asked Chris for one, but the Duff Bucket or replica? No, this is the Magic Duff Bucket. This is here. Oh, when will the extras from Jeff Con go up for sale? Want to try to snag some of the items from the swag bag since I wasn't able to attend. Yeah, Brandon, I have you in mind. I have a few people in mind. I am waiting for Mitch to send me my allotment of books because there are a few people that bought tickets to Jeff Con that couldn't go, and I want to get them their number of Death Bus if they have one. So I'm waiting to get that so I don't send out somebody's number to someone else. And I want to make sure that's all in alignment. And Mitch hasn't sent mine out yet. So I also don't have those arcs. Mitch is like, I don't know if he's mad at me. I refused to coach his little league team. And I said, Mitch, I live in Tennessee. You live in Oklahoma. I can't coach your league. And he was really mad. He also wanted me to get him some Pokemon cards. So I don't know. And he hasn't sent me my stuff, but when I get mine, I'll be putting it out there. Have you read Hyperion? Not yet. Not yet. And I want to. The art for that secret SST book has a construction hat with GS. Oh, really? Does it? I didn't notice that. That's great. I mean, that's toward the end of the book. That's like very near the end. And I will say of that book, the ending, somebody on my channel commented about Revival, and I put them in my worst Stephen King pile. I did the video top five worst Stephen King books. I thought I was clever. And he said, how could you put Revival there? It has arguably, and I say this in the video, arguably one of the best, darkest Stephen King endings in anything he's written. And I admit I love that ending. It is really almost triggering. It's so massive and scary that you're like, oh man, I can't even. It's huge. But I faulted the book because like when I grade a book, how much I love it, it's like the first 90%. The ending. You cannot need a good ending and be a Stephen King fan. So he's already trained that out of me. So for me, it is the bulk of the story, the first 90%. The first 9. It's not that last 10%. How it ends is important. And it is sad or disappointment when you get to the end and it doesn't end the way you want it to, or you feel like it just, I don't know, it just misses the mark. And I think in that book you're talking about, Jason, which I don't know when that pre-order is going to go live, the public pre-order, but that ending does miss the mark. But the brilliance was already there. I absolutely love that book. And I'm just like, that is a tremendous book. So like the ending, yes. And it's funny because I don't know. A lot of people will love a book, get to the ending, feel disappointed, and throw it all out. and just score it with the, and it's fair too, because it's the last note the story hit, and that's what it's leaving you with. And you, oh, come on. I mean, the ending of it, when I first read that, I was pissed. I was like, what? What? That's Pennywise? And even though Stephen King went through all kinds of ways to explain why Pennywise presented as that, even though he did it, it still was just like, it's I don't know. In fact, I think what Nat Cassidy did in When the Wolf Comes Home for that monster, in well, at least the monster pursuing the kid, uh, is creepier by far than whatever. Well, anyway, so I I'm more forgiving of endings, I guess, and I don't condemn a book based on the ending, and I also don't say that all that stuff I dragged my eyeballs through that I didn't like was worth it because the ending paid it off a certain way. It would take such an incredible book for me to get to the end and then have to review the entirety of the other book that I dismissed to make that sort of redeem the whole book. But if I spent a ton of time hating the journey, then that ain't gonna float. Wanted something different to start the year, so picked up John Gwynn's Bloodsworn Saga and love it so far. So it sounds like a fantasy. Sounds like a fantasy read, which is good. Wow, better than Coffin Moon. I'm reading When the Wolf Comes Home right now. Will be my third of the year. Yeah, I mean, for me, Mike, it's like, of course, I don't think I need to say that. Everybody knows opinions vary and different books connect with people in different ways. But um, for me, it just has more brains, if that makes sense. Like Coffin Moon is very straightforward. It is I don't know, it's a stripped down bare bone, like this is what's going to happen, and it is interesting what Keith does. Keith, we're on first name basis with the guy I've never met or talked to. He does very, he pulls in that sort of like junkie vibe that Near Dark did for the vampires, and I thought that was cool. I liked it. It just wasn't. It's like, thought you had an epic. I even forgot the main character's name. What the hell was his name? Uh, and anyway, I digress. I'm going to go sorting through my mental files, and it's going to choke me up, get me caught up. Now, the other book that's I think is better than Coffin Moon, there are some people that just don't dig that guy's style, and that's cool. It's a interesting if you read Coffin Moon and then that other book. I'm just going to say it. The Buffalo Hunter. If you read those two back to back, it's very interesting because they're both vampire. Anyway, oops, did I spill some? I heard The Wolf Comes Home has parts that are similar to first Terminator movie. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Oh, Stephen Wayne, you said a Duff bucket as a trophy for the league? Oh, maybe you know what? How about this? This will be the trophy for the league. You'll get the Duff Stein. It'll be the fantasy football trophy. And when you get it, you sign your name on it and the year. Is that good? I don't know. Is that good? The Duff Stein. So you just put your name like there, Brandon, with the year, which is 2025. The joke's on you, though, because there will never be a subsequent year because the world's ending. We got super flu, we got international strife, we got all kinds of joys to pick from. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, okay. I mean, I guess The Wolf Comes Home has some Terminator parts. Not really, but it's yeah, they're on the run. Two people are on the run from a relentless pursuer. But it's a little different. But I guess it's a broad connection. Yep, just checked my Eye in the Sky from Philip Dick, and it's not signed. I'm torn because I hate to put books back in mail. Oh my God. We are eye to eye on that, Christopher. I hate that. That's my least favorite thing to do. But you'll get a signature. You'll get it as he intended. I'm sure Jared will be happy to do it. So no new letterpress buys this year. Maybe depends on Suntup. Are you a fan of Elric books? So no, I've never read Elric. So I think I need to check in with the Magic Duff Bucket, maybe. Did Conversation Tree Press give a date? Death Bus, number 1, and E, thank you. I don't do the letters, Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr. And I hope Mitch is sending me number 1 because I'll be sending it along to you. Yo, Jeff, you had to pick, do you like Conan the Barbarian or the Terminator 1 more? I just saw Terminator 1 not too long ago, and that movie was helped tremendously by the sequel. The first one was like kind of almost, it felt like a B movie. It felt like one of those riff track movies. Riff tracks, MST3K movies. If you're not down with the crew. So I thought it was, the premise was good and there was a lot of mythos and a good foundation. And obviously Terminator 2 paid that off brilliantly. I mean, the first one's like here, and Terminator 2 is like way up here. So, but I would pick Terminator. I haven't seen Conan in ages. I don't even remember that. I agree. Ending needed to be different, but it's an amazing book. I put Coffin Moon above it just because I didn't care how it ended. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Everybody's different. One family member is getting the SST version, and 2 are getting the Black Crow edition. Those are great books. Those are great books. They will love them. Yeah, and thank me. I read it last year. I enjoyed it, but I didn't completely love it. Gave it a 4 out of 5. Love The Shining, Pet Cemetery, and Salem's Lot more. That's fair. I loved it. I read it right at the right time. You know, I was slightly older than the kids featured in the story. And just there were so many things that obviously we are going to talk about it in my copy of it tonight because I got something special to share with you all. And I'm amazed I didn't start with that. Like I didn't jump right in there and start with that. But it was a tremendous book for me right at that moment, you know. But yeah, I think The Shining, Pet Cemetery are his best books, maybe. The Stand is amazing. I wasn't that crazy about Salem's Lot. I thought it was good. I didn't care for the ending of the Dark Tower series, but I didn't take anything away from the 1,000 pages leading up to that point. Right, exactly. I thought the ending, I thought it ended the way it should have. I think the Dark Tower ending was like satisfying and maybe not entirely what you were hoping for, but when you read it, you're like, yep, that makes sense. Was excited for the SST Buffalo, but I'm just not a fan. I can't finish reading that. Zach, I can't finish reading that statement. All art is subjective. All art. You can like something, you could hate something. No judgment from me, but I cannot read those words cannot come out of my mouth, Zach. So if anybody's watching this later and you see the replay, just look at where I'm responding to the comments. But I don't judge you for that. I know it's a hot take. The art just almost looks okay. Dwayne Miner, yes. Dwayne, why would I forget the main character's name in Coffin Moon? Because it's Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. And then we have Dwayne Miner. Almost, it's similar. I shouldn't have forgotten that. His remarks look great. His remarks are amazing. I think all of his work's amazing. I'm currently reading There Is No Anti-Memantics Division right now. Is it good? Do you like it? I did read Fever House this past weekend. Not sure which one I like better yet, Coffin Moon or Fever House. I guess I'll decide once I read The Devil by Name. When are you reading King Sorrow? Oh, man, that's so far down my TBR, but it's so far up. I don't know, honestly. Good to hear, Mike. I was afraid nothing would beat Rawson's Coffin Moon. Damn, I wish I loved it that much. I think he's the best. His stuff is so lifelike, which sounds like the reason you don't like him. Oh, interesting. What will be the next book club? That'll be Darker Days. I have to get my hands on the book. I have to order it from Amazon and just get a bashed up, beat up piece of shit copy because I can't source a good well, I got a lead and I might hit him up for a signed UK edition. I got to reach back out. Dark Tower, best ending ever. Yeah, Darker Days, Brandon. So go get Darker Days. Yeah, I mean, when you consider how it starts and then how it ends, it's like, yes, it had, and then all the language about how things work in the universe. It had to go that way. Hey, did you see the new movie they're doing based on Richard Chizmar starring Danny DeVito? No, no, Taylor. I think that's a joke. I don't know what Danny DeVito is going to be in, but The Dead Zone is underrated. Top 5 king, in my humble opinion. I haven't read that one so long. Video quality on Terminator 1 was like the first Highlander. The stories were great. Yeah. When is Suntup doing another Robert McCammon title? I don't know if they ever are doing another one. Wait, another Dwayne? Yes. Yes. Dwayne. Yeah, Scab Dog. This is Dwayne. I actually would give King Sorrow a 4.7 out of 5. Really? You just might have knocked it up further up the list, not like impregnated it, but knocked that that tome higher up on my list. Darker Days was a 2.5 for me, least favorite. Oh, that is sad. I remember you mentioned that. I remember you mentioning that. Sorry, I should just clarify. I was afraid Rawson's best was going to be Coffin Moon. Glad to hear his other work is on par. Yes. So far, the anti-nemetics division is solid. Or there is no anti-mementics division. Started alongside M40 this evening. Wonderful writing. Yeah, you're going to love it. It's a great read. Barnes & Noble website has Darker Days hardcover for 50% off. Thank you, Patty. Got to do it. That's where I'm going to do it because I got to get it, man. I'm going to just write Darker Days, B and N. We're going to do that. So we'll hit that up. King Sorrow was epic. What are your favorite fantasy books? Can be probably the only ones I would consider true fantasy would be like all the Dark Towers fantasy and the Talismans fantasy. Also, you could say the Necroscope series was fantasy. That's fantasy, horror, political thriller in some ways. The Necroscope series by Brian Lumley. I would say it has to be that. I don't read a lot of fantasy. Tolkien, of course, Lord of the Rings is awesome. And somebody who says that you would think would have read more fantasy. Francois Vaillancourt and Alex Ross draw in great detail. Yes. So yeah, let's check in with the Magic Duff Bucket because I'm gonna need it coming up right here, probably very soon. Oh, what do you got for me today, Magic Duff Bucket? I didn't ask that. What do you got for me today? You got Death Bus. Yeah, I know it's a shocker. Oh, I gotta open this with caution. Hold on. Mitch filled these cans to the top, to the tippiest top, and every time I open it, I get a spray all over. That, you know, it happens. It happens sometimes. And then, oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So you have the Curious King First Law, fan of Joe Abercrombie, my favorite current working modern fantasy author. He's somebody that I'm stacking up the books for. I got the Devils, I got the Blade itself, and I'm getting the First Law trilogy from that Kickstarter. So I got them stacked up. I'm banking on it that I'm going to love his stuff, and I'm assuming, because Peter Hunt recommended the First Law trilogy to me. So in order, you like horror, then sci-fi, then fantasy. Weirdly, I like horror, and I think I like fantasy better than sci-fi. Although I've read a few sci-fi books, and I think Blind Sight is one of my favorite books of all time by Peter Watts. I'm stuck in horror. I'm happy there. I dig it. If I ever own a bookstore, it's going to be called the horror section, and it's going to be all horror. And I think horror that's a really hard word to keep saying, is underrated, undervalued, and dismissed. I think horror is so expansive a genre that I think people just don't know what to do with it. And yeah, fantasy's hard because I read Tad Williams's Brothers of the Wind, and it's like a high fantasy novel, and I'm like, I'm an adult reading. Like, I just felt like, what am I doing? I feel like I'm playing pretend a little too much. Like, I understand when you read a book, it's a suspension of disbelief. You have to believe in fairy tales all over again. You have to believe that the impossible is not just possible, but it's probable. You do. You have to let a story take you there, and you have to think this is something that happened. But just something with fantasy, that high fantasy, it's just so contrived and overwrought, where you have all these unpronounceable names and they have this history behind them that you just have to know. You cannot know a person by their actions in the current state. You have to know their lineage, their bloodline, their all that stuff, and it just loses me. It just takes me right out. I feel like, and I guess that's the appeal too. A lot of people might read it feeling like they're that kid again, where you're like throwing that sheet over your shoulders, saying it's a cape, an invisibility cloak, and you're playing monsters, and that magic is still very real for you. I don't know. It just shakes me out of the story. But I heard Joe Abercrombie and some other authors like Lord Fowl's Bane, the Thomas Covenant trilogy, would be something that would appeal to me because it's grimdark and all that. So I'm open to it. And science fiction is probably my least favorite, only because it it's the opposite of fantasy. It just takes itself too seriously sometimes. Like, there's hard science, and it has to be something we can recreate in a lab, or it doesn't, like, you're gonna get laughed at out of the bookstore. I don't know. Too many hangups, I guess. Hey, ask Jeff about his favorite title, Dune, which was first published by a car parts catalog company. That tells you all you need to know about Dune. It read like that one read, but that one I did respect because it blended politics, religion. Um, I also like have a deeper appreciation for it as somebody who lived through the pandemic about how people act according to beliefs and how that belief system could be artificial. So it's interesting, and I think there's a lot. It is a brilliant book. I just didn't engage to me. You talking to me? Oh, sorry. Top 3 to 5 favorite books of all time, Jeff. Whatever is easier for you. Favorite books? Shit. The Butcher Boy, The Road. Uh, Probably maybe Don't Let Them Get. I don't know. It's hard. It's Don't Let Them Get You Down was amazing. Those are the top. Those I have all bundled in my head together. It's hard. It changes with moods. Like sometimes I'm more interested in something meaty and smart, and sometimes I just want something like that, just a quick page turner, like Coffin Moon. You know, I'm reading Jane Parkhurst's occult novel Isobel now with Rowena cover art, as in Paperbacks from Hell. Hello, Alan. Good to see you. Never heard of that. Isobel. Hmm. You will love First Law. I hope I do. Very gritty, very realistic, and low magic. That's good. I see a lot of similarities between Gwyn and Abercrombie, some dark and a bit brutal. I like it. Well, then that's for me. I mean, I don't mind. I do like fantasy, like I said, more than sci-fi. I just don't branch out enough. I'm reading The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. It's biopunk sci-fi. Oh, like Snow Crash and Neuromancer. I loved Neuromancer too. It's unlike anything I've read, and it's great. Oh, that's cool. I am to read Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne soon, one of the best combat authors in fantasy. Very cool. Read Ted Williams' Tail Chaser song. Oof. Read. It was tough reading a whole fantasy book about cats as an adult. it was it was tough reading a whole fantasy book about cats as an adult. I hear you. Oh, I'm with you, Jeff. Fantasy lacks the realism and relevancy that I need to connect with a work. If it's that high fantasy stuff, like if you wrote a book and said this takes place in another time and it's governed by different people or another world, and there are supernatural or magic elements. Yeah, I mean, I just read a book. I'm reading a book about this werewolf guy. You know, it's crazy. It's impossible to happen. It's obviously not anything you're going to read about in the news, and yet it's really good and it's horror. You know, so yeah, if there's fantasy like that, but when it starts to be like Jean Genevieve Juju, the fourth son of the eighth king of Fufu Fafa land, and he has the blood of an elf in his toe. He had his toe chopped off, and then a dragon ate it. Now that dragon knows everywhere he goes, he follows him. What is this? It's just, oh my God, it's so bad. And if he stripped away all those stupid, like all the bullshit, I'll call it for what it is. It's bullshit. I don't need to know the history lesson. I just don't need it. Because what I liked in the Brothers of the Wind was the dragon. They go fight a dragon. And the whole thing about what this dragon does to him and how hard it is to kill this dragon and all of that was super interesting to me. I thought there was the drama, there was a story there, and then it went right back to, and so he needed to have a queen and blah blah blah. Holy shit. It's like, where's the story at? You know? Some people like that detail. They like that. And I'm not judging anybody. But that high fantasy stuff, Just what like the Talisman, amazing. And I'd say that's a fantasy. Dark Tower books, amazing. I know those are both Stephen King. Tolkien, Middle Earth. Yes, you do get some history in that. Mostly in The Hobbit, I guess. I've never read The Hobbit or The Silmarillion. I never read that either. But anyway, wait. What am I missing? What a wonderful time to have so many different flavors to experience. Yes, that is very true. Carl Edward Wagner and the Kane and Michael Moorcock has the Elric Eternal Champion series. Both series make for good reading in the fantasy. Patty, that's on my list, Tainted Cup. I read all of Michael Moorcock's Eternal Champion series. Hey, Hans is here. Good to see you, Hans. That's a lot of books. Wow. Okay. I mean, I have to. Wagner, I say Wagner. I don't care. I won't say Wagner. Also wrote horror stories. I'm reading The Nameless Dark by Ted E. Grau. Jason Murphy's here. Hey, folks. Hope everyone had a happy holidays and happy new year. Just popping in. What new version of it did you get, Jeff? I'm going to share that. Yes. Carl Edward Wagner's Kane stories are the exception for me. See, we all have our exceptions, Ron. We all have our exceptions. There are the books. We're like, I don't read that category except this, which is awesome and emblematic of that category. So, the other thing with fantasy, sci-fi, and horror, I also don't like to be limited. I don't like to think in categories. Like, I don't want to only be a horror author, but I know what I like, and that's always done well for me. And it's like other genres I'm not excluding, but I also don't want to. I don't know. Who knows? I'll listen in for a bit, but I won't be chiming in much. I'm driving on the road. Stay awake, Jason. Stay awake. Wait. What did Max say? When I read them in the 80s, there was only 7 Elric books, 4 Corum books, 4 Hawkmoon books, and a bunch of Eternal Champion books, plus the Jerry Cornelius books. Holy shit. Last night, I finished Dungeon Crawl Carl Book 1 and jumped right into Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 2. See, I liked it. I liked it a lot when I was listening to it. And I will probably get number 2. But it wasn't compulsive for me. I don't know. I'd read that book. What book would you read? See, it takes me a while to catch up. Stay far away from Brandon Sanderson then. Yeah, that's Mitch likes Brandon Sanderson. A few Dungeon Crawl Carl fans on here. I'm seeing Dinnamin in February. Oh, that's cool. I'm reading Manimal by A.C. Hessenauer. New to me author. It's horror, noir, detective thriller. It's bonkers good. That sounds cool. Do you remember the TV series Manimal? The guy could turn into different animals. Carl Edward Wagner is well known for editing the long-running year's best horror stories from Daw. And who took over? Is that Ellen Datlow? Is that? I don't know. The Silmarillion is like the Bible for Middle Earth. Hey, Mitch is here. He's late, but he's really not sorry. He says he's sorry. Kevin, it does have some Sherlock Holmes elements. That's Tainted Cup. Mitch is here for our money. Yeah, he's going to throw a commercial in here. Wait, did you write book? Wait, do you write books as well, Jeff? You're an I wrote Death Bus. So that doesn't qualify me. I can't say I'm an author yet, but I did write Death Bus. Jeff, you didn't care if you didn't. No, Kevin, I did. I really liked Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first one. I just didn't jump. Like I wasn't like itching to get to the next one. I was interested to see how he progresses, how he both descends the dungeon and progresses in skill level and all that stuff. Glurp, glurp, glurp was hilarious. It is a funny book. That was a really good book. I did like it a lot, and I am curious, and I am on board with more Dungeon Crawler Carl books. It's just I have to finish the Matthew Corbett series. I have to get to King Sorrow at some point. There are a couple of Philip Fracassi books I haven't read. There's some Tyler Jones, like I have so many I need to read, and Darker Days and all that. And so it's hard. It's tough. It feels like I'm making excuses. Oh, the book you described with the king and the toe eating. Yeah, that didn't happen. Rob loves books, but but if you think about the whole I realized when I was saying it that I was just repeating Captain Hook. Captain Hook, that crocodile ate his hand, and now he's constantly pursuing Captain Hook to eat the rest of them. That's the story. So when I said he had blood and the dragon ate his toe, and now he tracks him everywhere, I'm like, oh, well, that's just the alligator from Captain Hook. So the stuff goes in the mental blender, the brain blender, gets churned up and spit out as different things. I think that's true for everybody. But I usually don't recognize the source right away. But Lance agreed. Wagner and to a lesser degree, Gerald Page was an outstanding anthologist. The story gets deeper, but takes a few books to start really flesh out. I heard you or Patty told me somebody said it doesn't really get cooking to book 3. Foot fetish and dragons. What's up, y'all? Did we say hi to you, Mitch? We already did. Oh, we didn't say hi loudly enough to Mitch. So, I mean, we said hi. Mitch, were you hacked? You got 2 accounts, Mitch? I think Dungeon Crawl Carl 2 was the weakest, though I like them all. 4 and 5 were the best. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Yes, we have several things to talk about, but I have to make time for this. This came in the mail today, and I didn't open it yet. A few of you, 24 of you, know what this is, and you might have seen my post, the post about it on the Jeff Word, and it just showed up, and I am like, I'm nervous about opening it because I know I'm not going to really explain how it makes me feel, and I'm just worried that I'm not going to do it justice this moment. But let's just do it. Hold on. Somebody said people were saying hi, so I said, "What's up?" I'm just trying to get on the comment leaderboard. All right, so we'll open this. This came from bibliopathologist Gerald Ward. I always want to say Gerard, but it's Gerald. Yeah. Why do I always want to say Gerard? Oh, anyway. Oh man, this is just mind blowing, and I can't even get it. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so this was just for protection, and oh my God. So, for those of you who weren't on my Jeff Word, yeah, I haven't opened it yet. For those of you who weren't on my Jeff Word page to see this, Gerald surprised me. I was sitting down having Christmas dinner with the family, and I looked at Facebook, and this served up I just, yeah, see, I'm already a stammering fool. A bunch of people, and I have the names here, all pitched in to get me a Stephen King signature on a book plate to go in my rebind of It. And I was just floored when I saw that, and just literally crushed all the crushed, like, again, in the best way. Like, you're squeezed. You don't have another emotion. You're frozen. Your your brain is fried. The circuitry's fried when I saw that. Um, they worked with Chris Webster and got a signed book plate that I'm going to do a video on this, and hopefully it'll be better than what I'm doing right now. And 24 people helped make that happen, because I made a comment on when I was sharing my rebind of it, like, well, this is just the most amazing book. If I had a fire in my house and everybody's safe on the lawn, I could go back for one thing, it would be my rebind of it. And that was no bullshit. And if there was the only way to improve on that book was to have Stephen King sign it, is what I said, not thinking there'd ever be a chance of Stephen King actually signing my copy. But people were listening. Gerald was listening. And I don't know how he wrangled it. I don't know how he made this happen, but talked to some people, and everybody pitched in and got a signature, a book plate from Chris Webster, a Stephen King signature. If you don't know Chris Webster, he's the guy when it comes to collecting Stephen King. Like, he'll know a legit signature. He'll know a value of a Stephen King signed book. He's very close with Mike Flanagan, and he was at the world premiere, the movie premiere of Life of Chuck, with Stephen King in the audience. So, and he does King Khan. Like, there's so many things. So this is the guy. If it's Stephen King, this is the guy. And they got a signature from him. And the people who made that happen are all listed right here. And to me, this is almost, no, it's not even almost. This to me is more valuable than the Stephen King signature itself. The fact that you did this, that you got together and conspired to kill me with joy, means so much more than anything else. It's so tremendous. So those people are Tim Bedwell, Christopher Bowers, Thomas Klink, John Fahey. I haven't seen John Fahey in a while. Roger Geis, Jake Goldberg, Greg Green, Phil Hogginson, Kevin Hyman. Oh, Kevin. Alan Houck. Oh, wow. Alan. Wow. Mike Hughes, Mitch Hull. I said Mike Hughes, your name too fast. It's just because I read it real fast. But you need a moment. Mitch Hull. Alexis Johnson. Really? Oh, I saw this list and wow. Jason Latier. Zach Long. Wow, man. Sean Lynch. Too many books. David Malchaski. Tim Martin. Wow. I feel like I'm reading too fast again. Dave Perry. Patty Rice. Sean Roselle. I don't know how to say your last name, Sean. Sean Russell or Roselle. Alexia Sims. Tracy Tell. I see Tracy around the groups. Wow. And Gerald Ward. I mean, wow. I mean, this is so much. This is so much. And that's I just feel like, wow, this was going, I don't know. It just brings so much into focus for me that I have so many thoughts, and I'm not going to express any of them correctly. But this is so, I mean, like, I don't know, like, it's going to go in the book. Obviously, this is going to go with it. It's never going to leave the book. But I almost want to get that framed, and so I don't have it buried in a book. I want a constant reminder, like, this meant something. This means something. And so here is the envelope. Hatteras Path is the binder, the publisher, and the Moment of Truth here. So this is a very well protected. Oh my God, I could read it right through this, and it's remarkable. You could maybe see the I don't know. I don't know. So I'm going to liberate this very, very carefully. And when I saw this, I'm like, yes, I could run and do a video on it, but it needs to be shared with you all here, because that's where it belongs. That's where it lives. Oh my god, it's like it's crazy. It's like old dynamite. Like, I'm very afraid to handle it. So here it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. There it is. Look at that. Isn't that wild? That is so unbelievably crazy. And it has an adhesive on the back. I don't usually stick book plates. I don't usually adhere them to the books. And I'm afraid to, only because I'm worried I'll put it down and I'll put it down on an angle or something, or I won't do it well. But I feel like this needs to be put into that book. I'm not going to do that live. I wouldn't even trust myself to do it. I would ask producer Jill to come in and place it. But I feel like it has to go in the book. It has to be stuck in there. Like, it can never be separated, because that book is, and I don't even have it down here. The It rebind, one of one. And I'll share one other detail that was shared with me about it, is that Stephen King signed these for a charity in the fight against breast cancer, and that's what my aunt, who gave me this book, died from. So in so many ways, it honors my aunt, and it means just this stupid amount to me. I can't really continue talking about it because this is just going to get awkward. But it's yeah, it belongs in here. It definitely does. And I will never miss an opportunity to get this book out and hold it, sniff it, and flip through it. And I think the book plate should go in here. I don't know where I would put it. I just don't even know. I don't know. I don't really trust myself to do it. But I think it needs to be done. Anyway, so that's a lot of talking, and it doesn't even cover all that talking I just did. Is like the tip of the iceberg of gratitude. I can't even get to the whole entirety of it. There's no way I can. It's just so much. And so, yes, um, putting this with the book is like, I don't know. And this, of course, is it's all going to stay in here. Ah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just like a lot. It's just too much sometimes. For somebody who just keeps talking. Yeah, it is an incredible gift. RA, good to see you here, RA. So no, I hadn't opened it. Yeah, that's my Stephen King book. I'm just going through these comments. Stephen King crap. I thought he was getting chiz. Kevin. Yeah, somebody said that. I think Sean Lynch made that joke. Like, on second thought, send me that signature and we'll get him a chisma or something. I was in a black hole of emotion. Congratulations, man. You'd think Chris could just give them one. Oh, no, I read that. I can't believe I read that. Yeah, Stephen Wells, I knew you couldn't leave it alone. What an incredible gift. Yeah. Jeff, you're making me nervous with that knife. Oh, I know. I know. I know. Glue it in. No, it says it's got an adhesive. Um, it 100,000% has to go in the book. Yeah. You could tape it in with washi tape if you're nervous about affixing it permanently. No, I mean it has to be permanent. That's the only reason I would adhere it. Um, there's actually, well, I could I'm gonna have producer Jill put it in the book for sure. It has to go in there. So Jeff and Jill, congratulations on Jelly. Oh, thank you, Alexia. Thank you. That was in the newsletter. We are starting an agency, a 2-person agency. So if you know any businesses that really have a great product, really have great customer service, really have all these wonderful things that they are doing in the world, but they just need the messaging or they need a good logo to get some stopping power on social media, send them my way. We're doing some case studies at a very good discount price. You're getting, like Jill corrected me, I think we have combined 50 years of experience in marketing, design, and writing. So anyway, that's the commercial for Jelly. It was in my newsletter. My newsletter is one of the rare public ones, so you could share it with anybody. So Jelly, thank you. That's very nice. Also, congrats. What an amazing gift. Book people are good people. Book people are the best people. I think there's about, when you spend your time reading books, you care to know things, you care to hear perspectives, you care for new ideas, new voices. You're forced to empathize with people you might not have otherwise known. I think if you don't start out compassionate, you will become that's, I think book people are the best people. Absolutely. Um, Chiz would pay money for that sig plate. I know. I know. Yeah, you did get me, Stephen Wales Jr. Yes. Um, yes, he needs it for his son's collection. Oh, I was gonna talk about Cemetery Dance, but like they seem super desperate. Super, I mean, even more so. I think that I think they're close to wrapping it up over there. Just with the they were selling $1,000 worth of Cemetery Dance credit for just $400. So you send them $400 to get $1,000 of nothing. Then he's offering the Cemetery Dance Collectors Club 2026. He was offering admission to that, and you pay $99 and you get $100 of Cemetery Dance credit, which again is $100 of nothing. So he's really pushing to get. I just saw this in the camera. I'm like, oh my god, it's going to be a showstopper for me every time. So yeah, and it's just getting even more desperate, and I think time's running out. They're almost done. Um, Jeff, stapling it in would be so metal. Yeah, yes, that would be great. Oh, Mitch is dead. Mike killed Mitch. He's dead. He'll trade for it. Jelly is a great name for that. Yes, I mean Jeff and Jill, Jelly. Of course, she's Jilly sometimes. So Jeff and Jill. Yeah. A lot of work went into that. Maybe just a giant paper clip. Hey, John, good to see you. You snuck in here or what? What's up, John? I'm glad to see you. I got the Cenobites sitting there. I honestly didn't know what you wanted me to do with the Cenobites. I'm glad they're home. And I lost some of Chatterer's chain, which I'm very upset that I did. A lot of stuff got shuffled around in Jeff Con, but I didn't realize they'd be coming back home. And like, I missed them. They tell me a lot of stories about you. So I mean, it could be, I don't know. It could be embarrassing, but they tell me a lot of things. So, um, but they're looking at me right now. I'm like, you little kids, I hope you were good for Uncle John. Yeah, reading those emails, good God, how long can it go on? I know. CD keeps pushing the 2026 book club, but 2025 book club, I was thinking about it, could not have possibly offered anything. Last year for Cemetery Dance was the same as it's been for like the last 4 years. It's like radio silence. Getting the stand out there was just a Herculean task for them, and they did it. I'm amazed they did, but and I'm glad they did. But it was loaded with errors, and I sent Francois a message just yesterday on Facebook, and I said I was sitting here and I realized I had Francois sitting in my dining room right there in my dining room, and he was just hanging out. He if you think he's a great guy, you don't even know the half of it. Francois is an amazing guy. Like I he was so awesome. So generous, so thoughtful, so interested in hearing from other people. Just a great guy. Anyway, I messaged him. I said, I missed a prime opportunity to have him sign the copyright pages of my copies of The Stand. Because if you know, The Stand, the copyright pages don't credit him as doing the interior art at all. It took him 7 years to publish that book, and they still couldn't get Francois, and they had to send out an errata sheet. I'm sure you've seen it. Oh, I must have put it in with the book. I had it out for a long time, but there's an errata sheet saying Francois did an amazing job. But he was like, I'm forever denied inside that book. The book itself will deny me. And he was here, and I could have brought them both. And I said, in my copies, you won't be denied. You will sign that signature, the copyright page. Like I would make it an effort to put his name on that copyright page. And I messed up. It's like at the end of Jeff Con, when everybody was sitting here, we were all signing chapbooks, and me, Philip, Tyler, and Francois. And Francois gave me that remark in my Fate of Nero chapbook, and all that. And so my brain was fried, absolutely fried. If you look at that picture I shared on social media of all of us standing with the bookshelves to our backs, my eyes are barely open. They're open. I'm looking at Jill as she's taking the photo, and you can't even see my eyes. I was toast. I was fried to a crisp. And I wish I'd asked him. But his reply was, well, we'll have to do that at Jeff Con too. Oh, man. Oh, I mean, that would be. Anyway. Yes. I'm worried about The Chosen by Paul Michael Anderson with artwork by Chris Panettiere if CD ever publishes it. Wow, I didn't even know that was on deck, Alexia. I didn't even know that, namely Chris Panettiere would be doing the artwork for a Cemetery Dance book. Wow. A few paperbacks. Yeah, that's all they did. The Cenobites insisting on returning. The stories are true, although exaggerated. It's funny. Yeah, he is. I still can't believe he drew that in my Chalo and didn't charge anything. Just had to buy the print and his chapbook. Wow. He's such a great guy, man. I know I said that in a weird way, like I'm mad about it. I have inappropriate reactions. Did you read my newsletter yesterday? You're here for Jeff Con too. I would love to do it. And in some ways for me, the stakes are lower because I know all of what went into the first one and how hard Jill worked and what we would do differently. But in a lot of ways, the stakes are higher because I would insist on righting all the wrongs, or not. I mean, they're not that there were wrongs, but I would insist on making it even better, and for in a lot of ways. And that really would just cost a tremendous amount of money, but it would be worth it because of all the things you have time or money. If you look at it that way, the more you could save money by spending more time, and you could save time by spending more money. And I would choose to save time and effort and energy and stress and focus on the meat of the thing and spend the money so all the other bases could be covered. Anyway, so that would be what I would consider a phase two. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where it would be, and I don't know if I could get Philip to come back out because yeah, I laugh, but he was held up at the airport, and I felt really bad. It was a little cold for him, the LA boy he is. So it's so long since he was a Detroit boy. So yeah, and I would need him to be there, and I would need Francois and Tyler Jones and Mitch. And I know Mitch has a curfew, and I have to do it so his little league team's not playing. But I would have it in the summer. I don't know, whatever. But I would love to do that. I'm offended that you didn't have me sign anything. I was sitting right there. That is also short-sighted of me, Mitch. I should have had you sign some of your chapbooks. Rapture Publishing chapbooks deserve a Mitch signature. Yes, for sure. Oh, Kevin, you didn't need to correct your spelling at all. Francois is one of a kind. He gifted me a sketch of a zombie for my son. He did at Jeff Con before everyone. Oh man, yeah, he's a great guy. I got the fourth volume of HPL series, HP Lovecraft from Cairo Terra. Looking forward to Slipcase. And you need to be at Jeff Con too. So you're changing the subject, Stephen Wayne Allison Jr., but you would need to be there as well. So you can't escape that easily. Mitch, no worries, brother. I'll make you sign my entire library. Hurry up with plans for 2. I don't know how much longer I've got. Mark, you're going to bury us all, Mark. Hell yeah, your library will be one of a kind. Well, 2 of a kind because I signed all my books too. That's funny. You're a funny guy, Mitch. I have that on order also. Oh, I've been happy with the first 3. The HP Lovecraft series from Conversation Tree Press. Or no, sorry, Cairo Terra. Cairo Terra. What else do we have to talk about? We got a bunch. There's some heavy stuff. Stephen King's going to do a new Holly book. I know you guys were all dying for that. So, yeah. Oh, I'm going to celebrate my first official Death Bus review. I actually got a star rating from a good guy on the Cemetery Dance Forum. So he bought Death Bus, read it, and reviewed it, and then shared his thoughts on it. And so cheers to my first review. And I thanked him for it. And mostly I thanked him because I realized how nice that feels to know that somebody has a choice to read anything, so much out there. And they chose in that moment to read Death Bus and then talk about it and write it up. I'm not soliciting review. Trust me, it just was like, it was interesting. And I did get a few of you telling me and messaging me privately about your thoughts. And that just means a lot. And I think for people that went to Jeff Con that got a book, I don't think this person was at Jeff Con, so they had to buy it through Rapture. But anyway, to hear that feedback, it means a lot. And I'm just like, I think for me, this person is more of a stranger to me, so it was more of a hoop that this person had to go through, and it felt more random. that they read it. So anyway, I was kind of high. It brought me down to a point where I'm like, yeah, this is it would be a crazy business to be in, being an author. I think. Um, any other members of the Catabera sub here besides me? If Mel Brooks can do a Spaceballs 2, you have to do a Jeff Con 2. Well, that's going to be like 40 years later. Yeah, I ain't got 40 years, Mark, so don't worry about that. I don't have 40 years. Mitch, I probably have more copies, your signature, than anyone else. Real? Oh, yes, on the postcards. Mitch does the postcards because he's a good guy. Maybe Mark and Mitch could strum a string or two at the festival. We're going to have Patty and her friends singing, and we're going to have Mitch playing guitar, doing some songs that he knows. And then, yes, Mark's got to be there with his entire band. Going to have a pavilion. We're going to roast hot dogs over a campfire and watch these guys perform. And yeah, it'll be great. Jeff Con 2 will not be without Stephen Dwayne. No, I hope not. I hope not. You would be a mandatory, man. I have to get your schedule first, for sure. They sent me the pressing plates for Beyond the Wall of Sleep. Weirdest item in my collection. Catabera? What was that? I have no idea who Catabera is. None. No clue. It's funny. Like Kevin, you're correcting your writing, and I didn't even see it. Could strum a string or two. I figured out. Like just read. I didn't even notice it was wrong. Catabera. Never heard of them. Never till tonight. So you're promoting Catabera. Oh, there's low stock on Death Bus, by the way. Mitch is almost out. He's got like 4 copies left. Right, Mitch? Like abracadabra. Yeah. I've been so slammed with Daytide trying to get everything done, but it's back to fulfillment life after tomorrow. Servitor should be in hand the next day or two as well. Cadabra. Okay, yeah. Abracadabra. I think I have 2 copies left of Death Bus. So you got to send me my allotment, Mitch. We were talking about that earlier. I was really throwing you under the bus. Yeah, the Death Bus. Yes, producer Jill, out of nowhere with a boom comment. Perfect. It's sort of the thing that she just dropped. The sort of thing that made me feel very stupid for not thinking about it. Those are the best. Like, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, I threw you under the Death Bus. Huzzah, for sure. I still need to order my Daytide, Mitch. I was just typing that when PJ said it. Mark was doing that. Mark was getting it too. Yeah, I'm so behind. My bedtime is killing my productivity. Yeah, well, you should have thought about that before you pushed that kid on the playground. I ordered my Daytide last week. I couldn't believe I hadn't ordered it yet. Yeah, how many copies of Daytide do you have left, Mitch? I mean, you don't have to share that. I know that's industry information, but I'm getting I don't have my early readers edition of Daytide yet. And my allotment of Death Buses with the numbers of the people they go to. And what else don't I have? There's a lot. My arcs of Servitor and Axum, which, I don't know if I can't count on those because that's sort of just your kindness. Your kindness? Yeah, your kindness. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, Death Bus is low stock until I get my allotment. Then there will be like a few available. I'll sell them on the site. and I'm first I'm going to ship it to the people who bought tickets and couldn't make it, and then I will. And there are a couple other people that deserve it with all their support over the years and didn't get one, and so those are the ones that go out, and then whatever I have left will be sold, and I'll let you know, Brandon, and Jason McDonald is another one. I don't have my Arx or Servitor XM either. Been watching Mailbox daily. Yes. Happy New Year, Johnny. Johnny 2? Johnny, Happy New Year to you. Thank you. I thought you were saying you had a subscription. Anyway, so you're saying Cadabra is sending out these plates to anybody who got a subscription, and you thought Mark had a subscription. So what plates did he get? Therefore, yeah. So I told you about Stephen King doing a new Holly novel. Boo on that. There are a few people I think might be happy. I'm not. We shared the Stephen King signature. Congrats to Brandon Carr. Yes. Now, there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Broken Binding is having a January sale. Now, this might be King just needs to retire if that's all he's going to do. I know. So let me see. Let me hide that. You cannot see what's in my folders or what my folders are titled on my, because you would be like, oh, that's what he's like. Okay. It's that guy. So Broken is having a sale. And for January only, we have a selection of fantastic titles, including signed hardbacks for just £5 plus shipping. Just £5. We're also having a sale on our special edition store, which will be live tomorrow. So they have these for £5. A lot of fantasy titles. So if that's your bag, you know, then The Last Murder at the End of the World should be a very short book, because what I would say is like, well, it was the last murder at the end of the world, and while that's sad, there won't be any more murders. So that's good. But it's also the end of the world, and that's bad, which you would think would include many, many billions of murders. But who knows? Who knows what Stuart Turton had in mind? Yes, and then, of course, signed a trilogy for £15. Book for £5. So anyway, it's just something to be aware of. Broken Binding. I'm mostly interested in what goes up for sale on the special edition site. That will be live tomorrow. Is it tomorrow in England right now? I don't know. They're 6 hours ahead. What is tomorrow for them? You know, these are all questions. Wow, you nailed that, Jeff. It's weird, isn't it? I get one once in a while. Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. King, yeah. I know I'm behind, but could not help but think of you, buddy, when I was watching Welcome to Derry. Fantastically done show. We saw the first episode. I want to see the rest of it, but I have not seen it. I watched it with producer Jill and my son, my eldest, who is born of a lineage of toe-eating dragons. And I think producer Jill just didn't care for that shit. And so she's like, you're not watching anymore. But Ian and I finished Stranger Things, the series. Do you want my thoughts on it? Does it even matter? I'm sure you've seen a million memes. I will say the last episode was far too long and very self-indulgent. But otherwise, it was okay. I think the whole last season was painful because I don't think any of them want to be in that world anymore. And they were just looking for that to end. You know, they're just like, we're about done. So yes, I want to see that. I wish I could. If maybe producer Joe let me one day. I remember King did retire years ago. Yeah, but he said he planned on spending his retirement writing. Yeah. I also got the TED Klein broadside from Cairo Terra. I'm super stoked for that. Very cool, man. See, Stephen Wayne Elster Jr., you're surfing at a strat that is above me with some of what you read and collect. So it's props to you. And I'm sorry that I can't meet you eyeball to eyeball on that because I'm too lowbrow. I don't know. But that's cool. I'm in the minority. I like Stephen King Holly now. Okay. That's good. I'm happy for more enjoyment in the world. I wish I could. Oh, there's only one character that annoys me more than Holly, and that is Bill Hodges' girlfriend in the first Mr. Mercedes. She is more insufferable than Holly. And it's also like, I don't know, but good. Well, then you should be very happy you're getting another one. There are quite a few people who like Holly. They do. You're not alone. You may be in the minority. I think most people don't dig her as a character, but from where you're sitting, they can go pound sand. You're getting some enjoyment. You got Never Flinch, which I heard bad things about. I heard some people who love Stephen King said that is like, it's like seeing Michael Jordan play for the Wizards all over again. Somebody way past it shouldn't be doing it anymore. And it keeps getting, because of their status, is able to push this stuff out. I mean, I seriously cannot believe I have this. I seriously cannot believe I have this, and it's sitting right here. If I ever get elected as mayor of New York City, which is possible, I'm going to get sworn in on this rebind. This is like, they're going to say, what book do you know, when you come in? I'm going to say, one of one rebind from Bibliopathologist. One of one. The Carol Seeloff edition. That's what I call it. The Broken Binding, my copy of The Scour by Richard Swan arrived yesterday. Very cool. Stranger Things was the most PG thing I've been tricked into watching in a while. Yeah, I think season 4 was awesome. That was horror. That was mostly horror. But season 5 was, oh my, it was, now that I'm thinking about it, it was like Scooby-Doo and really could have been half the episodes. A lot of people, they did a lot of tying up loose ends and giving every character this sort of completion that I don't know if it was necessary. Well, folks, time to go. Everyone have a great week. Till next Monday. Take it easy, Mark. Glad you were here. Good night. Night, everyone. Christopher's gone. Psst, whatever, 1-1 rebind. And I was just talking about that. I don't know what you meant. Oh, I said you were above my head. You are. You read some better authors, I think. Not better authors, but you read more. I don't know. I just get the impression. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. Night all and Happy New Year. Go Hawks. Yes, take it easy. Later, season 5 was a group of hobo raccoons around a barrel making s'mores. I think nobody could sum it up better than that, so I won't even try to. I have Manos. Alan, thank you again so much, and thank you for being here. And on that note, with my hand on this rebind, I was going to talk about bibliopathologists too, because they put a pause on the bindery, and it is a testament to how awesome they are that they would put out this notice that they are so overloaded with work, which just fills me with joy, that they don't want to take any more orders until they get caught up, and they feel bad that people are waiting for things. Um, all of that is great. All of that says what a great guy Gerald is, and Jason. And um, I don't know. I found it. If you go to their site, Bibliopathologists, you see that notice about how they're taking a pause. And man, just again, book people are the best people, and they're among the top of the best. They're just such great people. I'm going to not get choked up anymore. Good night, every terrific Jeff had. Hope 26 is a great year for you all. Yes, good night, good night, good night. And I will be in touch. I'll be back next week. But in the meantime, if I ever get these death buses into the garage, I will be shipping them out to everybody who's owed one. And then all that. So thank you for joining me. And remember, my thoughts were with you, brother, Stephen Wayne Austin Jr. All season long, ever since Jeff Kahn, and anybody else who's going through the storm, Brooklyn Ann, you're gonna be better on the other side. I guarantee it. Here's to a great 26 for all of you and your families and all of your lineage, down to the last toe-eating dragon you ever confront.